festivities started at Frog Pond on December 9th, 2014. The four of us met for dinner and went skating for the weekly college night. On Friday, December 12th, at 3 a.m., we left for Copley Square. Since it was so late, my friend and I left the dorms and had no choice but to walk all the way to the Arlington T stop. The air was crisp and cool, and there was no one around except for the occasional car passing by. We were going to try and meet 5 Seconds of Summer at their hotel by Boston Commons. Now, this was a band that had saved each of us in a different way. Their music, personalities, and morals helped pull us out of depression, anxiety, loss, and other hardships. This was our chance to thank them in person, and we decided to try. Previously, we had learned that they had left Taylor Swift's birthday party in New York City. We tried to get there by 4 a.m., and when we arrived, there were a few black SUVs parked by the front entrance. For a few hours, many black SUVs went by and nothing. We ended up going back to school around 8:30 to prepare for the rest of the weekend. Jingle Ball was on Sunday, December 14th, at TD Garden in Boston. A couple of weeks prior to the concert, there was a big mix-up with the tickets, and now there were 3 seats and 2 seats separately. The 3 seats were up in the nosebleeds of the arena, and the 2 seats were set behind the stage with a large screen to see the show. My friend Kayla and I went to sit in the 2 seats behind the stage. While we were bitter to be sitting behind the stage, we were glad to be there at all. Once we sat down and the show started, I was Snapchatting videos of my favorite artists, and one of my roommates texted me because she saw the videos and asked where I was sitting. I told her that my friend and I were sitting behind the stage, and I started to get very excited. My roommate's mom worked for Kiss 108, and I immediately thought we were getting better seats. When my roommate got to our seats, she handed us 2 new tickets to sit row G on the floor. We headed down the stairs and were walking through the main halls towards the floor while I couldn't stop thanking her for these new seats. At the new seats, I couldn't believe where I was. I had never been this close to any concert, and this seemed to be a dream come true for any music lover. Finally, the last act of the concert, the reason I even attended this show, came out on stage. 5 Seconds of Summer. I remember thinking that this moment did not even feel real, and after following the group for so long, they were suddenly right in front of me. The next day, Monday, December 15th, I had found out that the band was still at the hotel, and I decided to go back. Now, my roommate, at the time, who had originally introduced me to the group, was in the shower and getting ready for class. When I had mentioned the idea of going back to the hotel, again earlier in the morning, she had said that she had to write a paper and could not go. With this in mind, I got ready to go and left for the hotel. I felt guilty that she wasn't coming with me, but I grabbed the letters that our group had written individually and was on my way. When I got to the hotel, I was instructed by the band security, Dave, to go by the front entrance because the band would be coming out in about 30 minutes. I texted my roommate several times, telling her to get here as soon as possible, and she continued to say that she could not come, so I let it go. I also told the other members of our group to come as well, and they all declined because of prior commitments. Finally, the time arrived, and I was able to meet these guys who had changed my life for the better. I met Michael, Callum, and Luke, and then they had to leave for the airport. As they were walking away, I called for Michael to give him the letters, and he quickly came back to grab them. After I drove away, I looked around and realized that I had not given Michael the entire stack of letters. I only gave him mine. This was a time that I was not who I thought I was. I met the band by myself, when throughout the whole weekend our entire group was hoping for this chance. This moment was one I will never forget, although at the same time I have this feeling of selfishness in the back of my mind, wishing that the rest of the group had also been able to meet the band too.